You're listening to the All Systems Go podcast, the show that teaches you everything you need to know to put your business on autopilot. Learn how to deploy automated marketing and sales systems in your business the right way with your host, the professor of automation himself and founder of Automation Bridge, Chris Davis.
Welcome to another episode of the All Systems Go podcast, where we invite startup founders and digital marketers to discuss strategies and software used to build automated marketing and sales systems that scale. I'm your host, Chris L. Davis, the founder of Automation Bridge. And in this episode, I want to talk about how to deliver your lead magnets in a way that's consistent and increases your deliverability. This is one of the fundamental moves or strategies in digital marketing. And a lot of people don't get this right. Simply put, this is what I created, and I call it my single double blueprint. And it's a single double opt-in strategy. But many of you may have seen it in the wild on the website as a single double blueprint. And I'll be honest, I should probably be a bit ashamed that it took me over 100 episodes for me to record this, as this has been one of the strongest and most consistent strategies I've used across all industries at a high level of success. I created this before GDPR, and because of its strength and bulletproofness, it still withstands the legal requirements of GDPR and many other privacy policies, laws, and requirements today. So I'm not exaggerating when I say I was a bit ahead of my time with this one. And I'll be honest, at the time of creating it, I didn't realize how important it would be. So this is why you need to understand how to properly set it up and what it is and why it's important. So I'm using this entire episode to walk you through it. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you may have downloaded this as a free offer. You may have enrolled in the course. This is going to serve as a really good refresher. Just to reiterate, it's really good to learn and keep learning the same thing to make sure that you're embodying it. Not just applying it, but you're embodying it. It becomes muscle memory, is what athletes will say when they practice so much that they don't even have to think about it anymore. Their bodies, their muscles just respond. This is what I want this strategy to be for you. So first, let's break down the difference between double and single opt-in. Okay, double opt-in and single opt-in. And this is important because you'll find that the single double is properly named as it takes on the best attributes of both strategies. I didn't create it to be oxymoronic, where it's like, well, it can't be a single and a double. It literally takes the best of both. Okay, it's like a child that takes the best of both parents and leaves the rest. Leaves the rest of the mess with them. So starting with single opt-in, this is when someone provides information from a form on your website, and they can immediately start to receive emails to that address without any other form of verification required. This means that email doesn't have to be a real one. It could be spelled wrong. There's no way for you to prevent or verify that email address before sending emails. And back in the day, and when I say back in the day, this is when I got started around 2012-ish. No, it was before then, 2007-ish, where it was primarily Aweber. You didn't have single opt-in as a feature. Everything had to be double opt-in. MailChimp couldn't do single opt-in. It had to be double opt-in. Everybody was forcing double opt-in. So single opt-in wasn't even a option. And I remember I found iContact, and it was one of the main platforms, and this is before I knew what I was doing, that allows single opt-in. So I was like, finally, I don't have to verify email addresses, and I can just start sending. In doing so, in short, I ended up getting banned from the platform because the email addresses that I was putting in there, a lot of them were not real, and I was sending them to them. And in my defense, I'm like, well, the system let me send them to them, so why are you blaming me? It was a mess, and I do not recommend single opt-in for any strategy unless it's filling out a contact form and sending out a basic autoresponder like we have received your information. Now it is just privacy is too important to use single opt-in where you don't have any record of verification or permission from the lead. Okay, so this is where double opt-in comes in. Double opt-in requires that the contact, that after they submit their information, usually from a form, that they receive an email. This is called an autoresponder. They receive an email immediately, and that email contains a link that they have to click in order to verify not just their email address, but give you permission to send them ongoing information or emails. So if they don't click this link, that means you cannot email them. In systems, they may look like inactive and active, confirmed and unconfirmed. And until they click the link, they don't move from unconfirmed to confirmed. Every lead by default is unconfirmed or inactive. Once they click the link, they become active. And historically, these emails, the problem has been that the email that contains this link has not been able to be fully customized. So you get this static, hey, you've requested to join this list, and click the email below. MailChimp still does this. And I find it very abrasive. You should be able to really customize that email to be what it needs to be. And the first platform that allowed me to do that in its totality was ActiveCampaign. A lot of people don't even know that you can fully customize the double opt-in email inside of ActiveCampaign. Use the merge tag custom link to create your own custom link and the destination of it. It's a whole thing. But it's essentially the closest I've come to a platform that allows you the free flexibility of updating or editing that double opt-in required email. Okay. So again, double opt-in, you've provided your information. You're going to get an email. Until you click that link in the email, I can't send you emails. And the problem has been that both lack the true control required to pull off delivering lead magnets consistently in a way that doesn't hurt your deliverability. Okay. And just a quick definition, deliverability is the probability of your email making it into your contact's inbox. If you want to learn more about it, we recorded an entire episode, me and Adrian Savage together. That's episode number 89. So go and listen to that. And there are drawbacks to the double opt-in. I mentioned the email not being fully customizable, but there also is events. If somebody registers for an event, they don't want to get an email that says, hey, click this link so we can add you to our list. They're like, wait a minute, what list are you talking about? I registered for an event. So there are a lot of ways registering when you enroll in courses where double opt-in just kind of feels a little abrasive and out of context at some capacity. There also is no way to send custom reminders or tag contacts appropriately if they don't click that link after a set amount of time. So both the single opt-in and double opt-in provide you with some abilities and a lot of inabilities. So now I've always started off with double opt-in, and it was very nervous to use single opt-in. But as the marketing needs matured, this is specifically when I was at LeadPage, and I was like, man, we just really need a way to have more control. And the people who are not opting in, we need to give them a second chance. And there was just no built-in way to do this. And Infusionsoft, I'm saying Infusionsoft intentionally, not Infusionsoft by Keep, but back in the day, Infusionsoft, we had to use action sets to send a legacy link in so in the campaign builder, there was an action set action, and then that action set had an email that you built out in it that sent the email with the custom link. And then there were some times where we could actually take that custom link and put it in an email the click would trigger an action set that would set them as confirmed. Long story short, very difficult. Very difficult, but I learned how to pull it off in Infusionsoft, and since then I've been using it in ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, things of that nature. Just some quick history. So along with that historical background, email marketing platforms have really taken this on upon themselves. All of the logic. Hey, send an email if they don't click, can't send the email if they click, confirm them, they can send emails going forward. And this is where the single double comes in. It takes control of the logic and puts you in the driver's seat for increased deliverability and engagement. So let me just say this disclaimer. We've talked about the double opt-in, the single opt-in. We've even given you some history around how I've used single opt-in, double opt-in, the difficulties and complexities when I was using Infusionsoft back in the day to pull this off, as well as other platforms that didn't allow it easily. GetResponse was another one that I had to work some magic on. So this strategy is best used for those who plan to keep a clean list. You are more concerned with quality than quantity. Okay. You know that both are important, but you'll lean and prioritize quality over quantity and decide to email. You're deciding not to email contacts that do not want or haven't signed up to receive emails ongoing. Okay. Just a quick disclaimer. If you purchase lists or have vague copy to capture emails, I do not suggest using this strategy at all, because my name is attached to it, but it will work. It will still work if you use it. It's just one of those things. So let me walk you through the single opt-in. The single double opt-in blueprint, so that you can truly understand this strategy and start deploying it in your business immediately. By the way, immediately. The first step is to start with single opt-in. This means that you need to disable double opt-in inside of your email marketing platform, since you'll be taking on the task of verification yourself. Some platforms use a special link for their double opt-in email, and you're able to merge that in manually to other links. Otherwise, don't worry about it. This strategy will work without it. And be sure that you disable, I can't say this enough, be sure that you disable double opt-in. In ActiveCampaign, I believe it's called confirmation opt-in. But that language is pretty consistent across all platforms. But be sure you disable it, because now you're taking off the guardrails, but we're about to put our own guardrails in. Okay. The built-in guardrails to protect you from sending emails, bounced emails to email addresses that are misspelled, don't exist, things of that nature. We're going to take this on ourselves. So disable it. By disabling double opt-in, you by default have enabled single opt-in. All right. Your automation is going to look something like this. It'll have a start trigger that is a form submission, and then an email that goes out immediately with the link to the resource they requested within the email. Note, you did not put the free lead magnet. You didn't put it on the thank you page. You put it in the email that they have to click the link. That's important. If you put it on the thank you page, you break this strategy. The blueprint won't work. Okay. Next, you're going to emulate double opt-in by adding a wait state to your automation that waits until they click the link in order for them to proceed through the automation. So they'll just be waiting there until they click the link. And then once they click the link, they'll be able to start receiving your drip sequence of emails and or newsletters. And this is the most important step, as that link click will serve as your verification that they agreed to receive ongoing communication. If you want to, in that email, you can even put something right below it and say, hey, by clicking this link, you're giving us permission to continue to send you emails. If it's a 4 to 5 part email drip sequence, you can say, hey, by clicking this link, you're giving us permission to send you 4 to 5 emails over the next 2 weeks, right? Clicking this link will give you access to the download, as well as give us permission to send you 4 to 5 emails over the next 2 weeks about XYZ. Okay, be very clear with it. There's no reason not to. And you can also, in certain platforms, the link click, remember, we're talking about the initial email that you sent out, fully customized. It's got a regular link to the lead magnet. When they click that link, it can also be coupled with actions that add a note to the contact record. It can update a date field. The note can say, on this date, you gave us permission to send you the following information. And that note exists on the contact record. You can also timestamp, that day into a custom date field as verification of the date as well. This is why this strategy is much greater than any built-in double opt-in, because you don't get all of that. And you can do that along the customer journey. Say, hey, on this date, they click a link, or they submit a form to register. You can add another note to their account. Hey, they registered for this event and agreed to get email reminders. So now if somebody says, hey, why are you sending me emails? You can literally pull up their contact record and all of the notes show the actions that they took. Take that screenshot, give it to your attorney, their attorney, whatever the case is, protect yourself. Okay. This is why the single double blueprint is the strongest. I have not seen anything stronger, because it encompasses every consideration that you need to be taken into every consideration that needs to be taken in order to market online in an ongoing manner that prevents you from being blacklisted from email service providers and ensures that your emails get delivered. Okay. So you're emulating the double opt-in by adding a wait state that says wait until they click that link in the email before they proceed. Once they click the link, not only will they proceed, but you're able to add a note. You could tag them, add anything else to show as verification on their contact record that they gave you permission. Okay. Essentially, the core of the single double is done. Right? But we don't stop there. If they don't click the link, now you'll see the other side of the single double blueprint, this strategy and its strength. If they don't click the link, a day later, you can set up a reminder email to go out, or reminders. And this is where both the built-in single and double opt-in strategies fall short, and why the single double strategy provides everything you need, because you can not only customize the initial email, customize the actions and start to populate the contact record to show verification that they gave you permission, but you can also send reminders. Okay. You can also, hey, did you still want this? Some of you may have got that email from me. If you opted in for the 5-point automation checklist, didn't download it, the next day you get an email that says, hey, did you still want it? And guess what? If you don't click a link in the delivery or reminder email, I'm not going to send you emails, because I'm a firm believer, and data has proven that oftentimes how someone starts with you is how they stay with you. So if they start out not opening emails, not engaging, they're not going to start engaging. They can always opt in again and change their ways. But once they opt in, that customer journey is set by what they do in those first few days. So if you're not engaging now, I'm not going to keep sending you newsletters for the next 3 to 4 months, let you drive down my deliverability. And then people who really want my emails can't get my emails because I'm mailing all of these tire kickers. The term I coined for this is engagement gating. That's what the single double blueprint does. It gates your ongoing email sending by engagement. If you don't engage, you don't get emails. And of course, there's other automations that we add to it to monitor ongoing engagement. But to out the gate, delivering the lead magnet, this is the way. So now that you have reminders, you got the delivery email. If they click a link in any of those, because the reminder emails has the same link that the initial delivery email has. If they click a link in any of those emails, they proceed. They proceed, and they can now start receiving the follow-up sequence. There are other tags and actions that I add to these automations. I won't go over it in detail in this podcast, as I have an entire course. It's called Campaigns That Converts, that walks through this, provides a downloadable blueprint for you to print off, to look through, and a video walkthrough of how to set this up, and easy for you to follow, as well as access to the private community for ongoing growth and assistance. And I must say this. I have, for the record, I've built this strategy in Drip, ConvertKit, Infusionsoft by Keep, Infusionsoft, Entreport, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, and Go High Level. Most of the platforms that you're looking at for marketing automation, I have successfully built this out in and proved that it works. So going back to the strategy, remember, the key is this. We were talking about engagement gating. Once and only once, an email link is clicked, do they proceed to the follow-up sequence? You have to be willing to say that, because some of you be like, well, they didn't click, but I still want them to get these promos. No, what are you doing? Do not. I repeat, do not. Or let me say, proceed at your own risk. Okay? Because doing so, making sure they click that link, it ensures only the highest intent leads get the communication from you that they requested, and your open and click-through rates are going to be the highest due to it. Okay? There's other considerations that you need to take in terms of copy on your website, how you explain what they will receive. We talked about the email itself. The key is to be extremely clear and to reiterate as much as possible the type of messaging you're going to be sending in an ongoing fashion. I'll say this, the biggest mistake I see people make is not deploying the actual strategy wrong. It's not being clear on the type of messaging and the cadence of that messaging in an ongoing fashion. A lot of people just don't know. They're like, I don't know what to put on my website, because they don't know what they're sending. They just know they want to get email addresses for this free offer that they created in Canva, and everybody told them build a list. No, you really got to plan this stuff out. Okay, have your initial email sequence, but after that, what kind of communication are they going to receive? All right, we'll put that on your website so that you can get permission to do exactly that. So again, this strategy works across the globe. Across the globe. I've talked to attorneys about this. There's a podcast on Active Campaign's website somewhere. When GDPR came out, I sat down and talked to their attorneys at the time, and they told me this strategy is legally binding. It will work. You are protected. Okay. So I mentioned that this is covered in one of my courses called Campaigns That Converts. And this is just one course of many that you get for free when you enroll in the Amplify My Automation package. And yes, that package also includes the Automation Service Provider program. So I wanted to give you all just a sneak peek at the comprehensive value of the Amplify My Automation package, but also make sure that you understand how to deliver lead magnets today and ongoing in a way that protects the hygiene of your list, increases engagement, and boosts your opens and clicks. This is the way. The single double blueprint is the only way that I recommend it. So now that you know how to do it, make sure you do it responsibly and deliver your lead magnets wisely, my friends. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the All Systems Go podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you're subscribed. At the time of recording, the All Systems Go podcast is free to subscribe to, and it can be found in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes are released every Thursday, so make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out. And while you're at it, please leave us a 5-star rating and review to show some love, but also to help future listeners more easily find the podcast so they can experience the value and goodness as well. We've compiled all resources mentioned on the podcast, as well as other resources that are extremely valuable and effective at helping you grow your marketing automation skills quickly. And you can access them all at allsystemsgopodcast.com. Thanks again for listening. And until next time I see you online, automate responsibly, my friends.